In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my 7 tips for shooting street portrait of strangers. I mean, in photography, there's so many genres, yeah? And street photography is one of those genres. And also, one part of the street photography that we really overlook is the portrait of strangers. And in this video, I want to teach you or share with you my insight of how you can go about it. Tip number one, location. It is really important that you get the location that you want. Because street portrait of strangers is not just about the subject, it's not just about the person or whatever that or the character. Part of the character is also the location, the environment the person is, the background, all those things are really important. Because by portrait, you are conveying story, you're conveying emotion, you're conveying character, you're conveying color, whatever that may be, will be all part of the portrait that you are planning to shoot. So plan, look for location that you want to convey that story. And we're in London. There is so much great location. We started from here in Oxford Circus. And another location that I really love is South Bank. I don't know if we'll be able to go to South Bank or not, but I'm gonna first start here in Oxford Circus. And then I'm gonna look around and try to find a stranger that I will shoot portrait of. So first tip, location. Find the location that you desire to convey the portrait of the stranger for. Tip number two is to have time in your hand. So when you prepare to do street portrait of strangers, plan accordingly. Because I mean, you never know the conversation, how the conversation is going to turn up. And prepare to have time. So then if the subject is willing to continue, so that you continue. And if the subject has a short time, so that you need to understand, so that you wrap it up quickly. But you need to explore when you're in the street, because it's not something that you plan it beforehand. So also you need to explore. And for you to explore, you need to have a time in your hand. So you cannot just say, I have an hour, I'm gonna come and then do a street portrait and I'm gone. Maybe they were just gonna do one person, yeah? But it's important that you plan accordingly so that you're not in rush. Because those things you don't do just in a rush. It's not like you pull your phone from your pocket and then bam, 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 like tourists. No, it's not that. You take your time to do it accordingly. So tip number two, have time on your side. Are you happy for me to? Yeah?
That's all right.
All right, thank you. Guys, tip number three. So when you're shooting portrait of strangers, the first thing that you need to think about it, yeah, look at interesting subject or interesting character, something that from just up there telling you, oh, I have a story to tell, or here there is story, or here there's emotion, something, like that. Don't go just to something, boring or easy, target. Because sometimes it's gonna be easy. You just find something easy, quick, and then you're done. But look for character, look for subject that's really interesting, something that stand out, and something that's gonna wow people. So it's really, really important. And I think the more that you get to that point, the more the difficult gonna be kind of to convince people. I'm not talking about flashy stuff, no. Something that part of the ordinary but can stand out in terms of the extraordinary. So that's what I'm talking about it. So that is the tip number 3. Looking for interesting subject, looking for something that has a character, something that can stand out. Hello. Hey, you good, yeah? Yeah. You know, I'm doing. I have a YouTube, yeah, and I'm doing like a tip tutorial, like a shooting, portrait of somebody that you meet for the first time.
Yeah.
And are you happy for me to shoot you? I mean, you're doing the skateboarding, those sorts of things.
Yeah. But not now. I'm chilling just for the moment. And
Yeah, yeah.
10 minutes I skating a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, 10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay, that's excellent. Tip number 4, ask and also start conversation. One of the scary part of street photography or street portrait of strangers is for you to get a permission or agreement from people that you wanna shoot them. You're not gonna be hiding behind a tree or hiding far away and then try to take portraits. It doesn't do like that. So then if you do this way, you're not gonna get the interaction, you're not gonna get the story, you're not gonna get the emotion. So it's simple, you just go to people and ask them, you're doing something and you wanna take their portrait. Are they happy with it? They may say yes or they may say no. If they no, you just move to the next person. Just be confident and say what you want. Ask people. When you ask people, people will respond. And I think people are genuinely nice people, no one is scary. So don't be scared of people, just ask them. So tip number four, ask people what you want them to do or ask them permission so that you can shoot their portrait. Right. So far, what do you think about the tip that I share? If anything that you want to add on to, just add in the comment box below, yeah? So if you have any technique, please use the comment box below and then add your technique in there or tip. You speak French?
Yeah, I speak French.
Okay, I speak a little bit of French.
My accent is French, sorry.
Yeah,
My
I know.
English is really bad, sorry.
Don't worry. Non, c'est pas grave. Je parle français aussi.
Ok.
Vous êtes d'où?
Je suis de Nice.
Hein?
De Nice.
Oh, de Nice.
Ouais.
Ok.
Vous êtes d'où?
Moi, je suis du Tchad.
Tchad.
Oui.
Ok.
Ah,
Et mon père est ivoirien, ma mère est camerounaise.
Ah bon?
Ouais.
Moi, je suis tchadien. Nous sommes voisins avec des Camerounais, quoi.
Vous êtes quoi? Vous êtes en vacances là?
Non. J'habite ici. Ah ouais. Et vous?
Ouais, j'habite ici.
Ah, ok.
3 ans maintenant.
Ah ouais, c'est bien ça. Ok, comme ça, je vous donne 10 minutes. Et puis, merci. Hein. Ouais. De rien. The good thing that he also speaks French. I also speak French, so they made it easy for me just to construct relationship because we both speaking French. Tip number 5 is making your subject comfortable, at ease. I mean, when you're engaging with a stranger, it's always in the first instant, there is no trust in between you two guys. And you're both strangers. And also, when somebody see a camera or lens in front of them, they're a little bit, shaky and panicking and all those sort of things, thinking about, oh, I'm doing the right thing and all those things. So for this part, you have to make sure you make them comfortable. You do not start by pointing the camera first. You talk to them, you agree, and then after that, you put your camera. And let them have a little bit of lead for you to see. If they take a pose, let them take that pose and then you film it. And then after that, you can give them direction here and there and so and so. So then, they feel that, they have a little bit of control of the situation. It's really important that they feel they have the control of the situation. All right. So let them feel comfortable, at ease, and then you can get the best out of them. You get the emotion that you want, the character that you want when people feel at ease. Important. Tip number 5, let them be at ease. Create the situation, create the comfort around them. Tip number 6, focal length. Yeah, I think it's really important to choose the right focal length. I mean, there is a few great focal lengths for portrait, and there is 35, 50, 85, and so and so. But the prime lens are the best one when it comes down to portrait. Yeah, and I think for me, for the portrait, so far 35 and 50 does the best job, because it's not too, especially on the street. Yeah, it's not too wide, it's not too narrow. All right, so then it's the perfect one. 35 and also the 50. That's the one that you choose, and that's the one that I'm choosing. That's the one that I'm using quite often. So I have the 35 RF 1.8, and if I want to go above 50, so then I can use my 28 to 70. It's no prime lens. It's a zoom lens, but it's almost similar to the prime lens. It's 2.0. So it gives me that latitude to play with. So yeah, tip number 6, focal length, either 35 or 50. Guys, tip number 7 is setting. It's really important that you know how to set your camera, where to find your setting, and to get the proper setting that you need for the portrait. Either you want shallow depth of field, so that you need to choose aperture that you need to choose, and it's really important. If you want to isolate your subject as a portrait, so then you need to know how you do that too. And all those things, you need to do it before you get to your shooting. So you set your camera, everything is set, the proper setting that you want, because the image or the portrait that you're portraying has its message. And whether that open up everybody on focus or the background on focus or not, all are really important. To get your setting right, to know how to set your cameras so that you can get the portrait that you want. Tip number 7, set your camera to the appropriate setting that you want. Our bonus tip, yeah, that's from Delic. Always shoot manual. Right? If you struggle with manual, start it with autofocus, and then as soon that you know that the focus is already on your subject, you straight away turn it into manual. Then you're not going to lose the focus anymore. And if the subject staying in the same place, so then you will get the autofocus right. You get the focus right, not the autofocus, because it's on a manual now. So bonus tip from Dulux is use manual focusing. And if you're not sure about doing it manually, so then use the autofocus, and as soon that the subject is on focus, you turn it to a manual, so then the focus is going to stay there, right? So that's Hakuna Matata, my friend. So that is what I have for you today, and I hope that you find it very useful. And that's my 7 tips for shooting portrait of strangers in the street. All right. So I will see you in my next video. As always, for me, Hakuna Matata. God bless you. Thank you and love.